Hello, and welcome to episode 8 of our Let's Play series using Rith's pack. Woo! Um, Today, I have a couple of things planned for us. First of all, as I mentioned on the previous episode, I spent some time finishing our power, uh, our little reactor here. And as you can see, I told you that I was going to expand it. So I went ahead and did a 7 by 7, but I went down deep on the basement that I am opening up. Created a waypoint here. So as you can see on our basement, we have our controller that goes all the way down to here. So this is giving us enough power that is going to last us for a while before we need to come up with a different kind of power. And there was a couple of things that I wanted to do here. First of all, I went ahead and made some conduits that are going to help us do what we need to do. And I also, if you recall from the previous episode, I was creating some yellorium ingots with Project E. So we have a decent amount of yellorium. And the way that this is going to be set up, we are not going to be using as much of it until later on. So for now, this will suffice. And so a couple of things that we want to do here. First of all, I want to automate this. And the reason that I want to automate this is because one of the things that I'm going to do is on this area over here, and I'm probably going to expand further out this way. But originally, we are going to have some power banks from Ender.io, and eventually, we are going to move on to some of the draconium, or what's the name of the mod? Draconic power, I think it is. Anyway, let's take a look at it. Draconic evolution, that's the name of it. And so we are going to create later on, when we have enough draconium, we are going to have the power bank built here. But in the meantime, we are just going to use power banks from Ender.io, and we will go ahead and make those a little later on. But for now, what I want to do, as I said, is I want to automate this. So as mentioned before, I went ahead and create a couple of redstone ports. We already had this redstone flux power tap already created. This is from where the power is going to come out. So this is where we will have our energy conduits connected. And as you can see, it turns green, telling us that now there is something that is going to be drawing power from there. In here, we're going to set it up with just a chest for now. Once we have our AE system running, then we are going to be able to set it up with AE. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and have a simple setup with a box there, a chest there, and some item conduits coming here and here. Well, let's see. I don't really want those to join. So what we're going to do here is set this up in a way that are not going to be together. And that's going to be easy. We're going to do this and that. And we are going to set up this up here. And as you can see, you can move, as I've just did right now, you can break parts of the reactor and it's not going to lose the power that it has stored, nor the power or the amount of yellorium that is on the rods. The rods appear empty right now because the multi-block structure is not complete. But once I complete it, it goes right back to the yellorium that it already had. And if it had any power stored, it has the power already there. And now we're going to go ahead and put the box there. And what we're going to do is here, we are going to make a couple of filters that I'm going to put in here. And what this is going to do is going to extract, this one in here is going to insert anything that I put on the chest. And so this chest is going to be full of yellorite. And if working correctly, this is going to extract, if I put it always active, is going to extract anything that is in this box. In this case, as you can see, the yellorium is being extracted. And it's going to put it in here, since this is the input to the system. Once it fills out all the rods, then whatever excess is going to fill up here up to a block of, up to a stack of 64, and then it'll stop pulling. But as you can see, we have a lot of yellorium that needs to be put in the system, and so it's going to continue draining what we have here. There. So now it filled up. Now we just filling at a buffer here. And then what it's going to do, we're going to put an extract here with an insert here. And so this is going to extract any excess that comes out, the plutonium. When the plutonium comes out here, it's automatically going to get extracted and put on this chest. I don't believe we're going to need filters, but if we need filters, we will add them later on. So now we have this automated and we have our power tap. Now what we need to do is we need to automate this thing here. And this is very easy. So what we're going to do, this is going to control the power. So I'm going to select on this one on the right, I'm going to select the toggle reactor on and off and to set it from signal, right? And this one here is going to say, since we're going to have the banks here, it's going to say if the banks are at a certain level, then send a redstone signal. So in this case, for example, if what we're going to do is we're going to put 85%. If we are below 85%, activate the system, the reactor. And of course, when that happens, if we go upstairs, when we have the banks and it has a way to read that we need power in those banks, then this is going to turn on and it's going to start creating power. And just so you have an idea of how much power this is creating right now, when I turn it on, this is getting pretty hot. I'm going to have to figure out a way to lower this. But at this point in time right now, we're producing 26,000 RF per tick. So this is enough to keep us going for a little bit. Once I think diamond is what we need to be able to make it cooler, but I'm going to need a lot of diamond. And so because of that, because of the diamond that we need, first of all, I want to go ahead and upgrade these energy collectors, and I want to hopefully create a full flower. I don't know that we have enough diamonds to create a full flower, but because of that, what we're going to do is we are going to start creating diamonds here instead of yellorite. So yeah, I only have 49 diamonds, and so that is not going to give us more than five blocks, and we need a few of the blocks. So we're just going to put the diamonds so the diamonds so we can start producing diamonds in here. Right now it's doing it quick because we have the 4 of this that were completely charged. So they were just dumping all of the EMC, but eventually it's going to slow down. But there we go. So now that is going to start building some diamonds or creating some diamonds. And we are going to come here, and if you recall, I went ahead and put a stack of redstone here. And the redstone is going through all of the processes until it goes to the maximum type of fuel that can be created on one of these energy collectors, and that is the Eternalis fuel. Now, the Eternalis fuel is what it's needed to upgrade these bad guys here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take all 4 of them. Is that the whole? Yeah. So we're going to take all these 4 and we are going to, I'm going to show you how to do this. First of all, let's go ahead and make, so we are going to make rank 2. Is that what it is? No, Mark 2. All right, so Mark 2 energy collectors. The energy collectors require an energy collector Mark 1, all glowstone around, and dark matter. And dark matter is created by putting a block of diamond surrounded by Eternalis fuel. And so we're going to need 4 of this. So let's do our 4 blocks of diamond and 4 dark matter. So these are the first dark matter that we've built. This dark matter is not the top tier. You will see here that the dark matter, once we put dark matter with eternalist fuel, is going to give us red matter. And that is where we want to get, because this is what we can use to make ourselves some very, very nice weapons, as well as some amazing armor, which is the um, gemmed armor. Okay, but we need a lot for that. We need to make some Klein Star Omegas, which are pretty long to make. Once we get full flowers, it'll be a little easier. But okay, with that, let's go ahead and do what we set out to do. So with this dark matter here, now we are going to need 4, and this is 3, 6, 7. All right. So we need 7s here. So we need 32 of this glowstone, and I believe we have enough to make it. All right, so there's 32 of them, and so we should be able to make 4 of these guys. And now with these 4, what we are doing is we're going to increase the process, or actually, not increase it, but increase the amount of EMC that we create. So it's going to make it a little faster. As you can see, these ones in here generate 12 EMC per second instead of generating 4 EMC per second. So here we're generating 48 to the 16 that we were generating before. And so it's going to help us create diamonds at a faster rate. And here we're going to go ahead and toss another full 2 or 3 stacks of, let's see, let's go ahead and do glowstone this time. We're going to put a couple of stacks of glowstone so this can continue. So it builds into alchemical coal, and then the alchemical coal is going to start turning into eternalist fuel. All right. So we've automated our controller, as well as we've upgraded the first level of the flower that we have, and we've started creating some diamonds so we can create more of those flowers. And another thing that I did is I completed this here. In this room here, I'm having it set up, I'm having it built for us to be able to start working on our flight system. And so what we are going to use for flight, and this is something that we need to start working on this episode, we are going to use an angel ring. Now, the angel ring is part of extra utilities, and it uses the new power system from extra utilities, which is called GP. Not exactly sure what GP stands for, but what we need to be able to build one of these angel rings is simply gold, a resonating redstone crystal, and whatever item we want to do it. So if we want them to look like angel rings, we need to put some feathers. If you want them as more like a devil type of ring, we put leather. If you want it as a fairy or a butterfly, then they're going to use colors pink and purple. So anyway, whatever we decide to do, the 2 parts that are important here is these golden lassos. We need a golden lasso, a yellow one, which denotes that is for a passive mob, and we need to do one of these and capture a bat. And that is one. And the other one, this is the fun one. This is the dark lasso, and the dark lasso has the drop of evil, which is what I was talking about on, I believe, episode 3 when we went to the Nether, that I wanted to get a drop from the Nether skeletons. And that drop was the drop of evil. The drop of evil with a golden lasso is going to give us a cursed lasso. And that's not it. Once we have the cursed lasso, then we need to go and trap a ghast. So that is going to be fun to do. So let's go ahead and start working on that, since that is going to be the hardest part of this build. But before we do that, since that is really the last part, once we have the wings, we can't fly unless we have at least 32 GP of energy that is basically going to fuel the angel ring. The nice thing is that it doesn't matter where you build your grid power. And that's what it stands for, grid power. Where you build your grid power is independent of where you can use it. So I can build a grid power up here in the overworld, and it will work in the end, in the nether, any other place. All right. So for the power, what we're going to use is water mills. And water mills, let's go ahead and do water mill. A water mill is created by getting some Sunburn, redstone gears, and resonating stone crystal. Now we have the crystal and we can make the redstone gears, no problem. So what we need to work on is on stone burns. Now we need, in order to make the most efficient setup, which a quick search on YouTube or on online will help you identify some. There's different ways that people build these power grids. I prefer this kind of star shape where you put your um, the water mills in a diamond shape. So here's where the water mills are going to go. And then I'm going to put water because the way that the water mills work is by flowing water, not by not by still water, but by flowing water. And each side is going to produce 4 or 6 GP. I believe it's four. So if we have four per side, each one of this is going to give us 16 GP, right? So that is going to give us about 126 GP once we have all of these combined, which is enough to run the water mills. I'm sorry, the ring and a couple of other things. So let's go ahead and build this. Since we are going to have a couple of parts for this build, let's start with the first one. The first one is creating Sunburn. Now, in order to create Sunburn, let's get over here to our system. In order to create Sunburn, what we need to do is we need to put polished stone into a resonator. And then we have to power this resonator with grid power. Now, of course, we don't have any grid power going on right now. So that is when we have to build a manual mill. Now, this manual mill is very easy to build. We just need polished stone, a redstone gear, and resonating crystal power. And so let's go ahead and get that. First of all, we need polished stone, and that is done with 4 of any type of stone bricks. I don't know if I have one or not. No, I don't. So let's go ahead and make just one more of this. That should give us enough to create the manual mill with, of course, one redstone. Oh, we need redstone torches. So let's go ahead and make a few redstone torches. There we go. We will need a few of those. All right. So we are going to make a redstone gear. And we are going to combine it with, we need to make the polished stone, 2 polished stones. And that is going to give us our manual mill. Right. So now we have our manual mill. And now what we need is we need a resonator. How did we make the resonator? I already forgot. Nobody said that I had good memory. There we go. That's how we make the resonator. So it should be easy. It needs a block of coal. And we combine the coal with iron, redstone, and a resonating redstone crystal, and that gives us our resonator. Great. And now we said we needed what? We needed Sunburn, which was done by burning polished stone into the resonator. So we said that we need 8 water mills. Each water mill needs 6 of these Sunburns. So we need 48 Sunburns. So let's go ahead and make sure that we have 48 polished stone. And I believe we have just a couple of extra one. We have 2 here. And we need to make a few more. So let's make some stone bricks. I hope that I have enough stone. Let's see. Stone. Where are you, stone? We have 3 stone bricks. So that's going to make, once we have a few more stones. All right. So let's make all these stones here. And we said we're going to need 4. How many did we say? Anyway, let's go ahead and have 50. Then it was like 46. All right. And since this room here is the one that we are going to use for all of the extra utilities tools, let's go ahead and put this here. It's here right on the corner. With this right on the side. We are going to put our 50 polished stones. And one good thing about this is that, first of all, in order to operate it, you have to right click it. And what it's going to do, as you can see, whenever you're looking at any of these machines, it tells you what your grid power is. And how this works is basically it tells you that you need 8 grid power in order to make one of this. And so this, the manual power grid, which for some reason it says a solar panel, but anyway, this manual grid can produce up to 15 grid power. And so it tells you right now that we're building 7, 8. So now we're back to 2, 3, 4. And you're going to see that once it gets to 8, it goes back to 0 because it only needs 8 GP in order to make one Sunburn. And the nice thing is that you don't have to continue click on it. You just right click once and that continuously make it so it continues spinning until you finish what you're building and what you're creating. And so this is going to take a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this. We are getting to the end of the chapter. So before we do that, I want to go ahead and do at least one of those water mills so you can see how do they work. And then we will end the episode for today. And the next time we will continue with getting our angel ring, our fly ring. And so now that we have this, let's take a look at how we can. We have 7 of these stun burns. We need to create a couple of redstone gears, so that's not a problem. We have enough of that. And we have a water mill. And I believe we have, where do I have my buckets? Do I have a bucket here? Yes, I have a bucket here. So let's take a bucket. You know what? Let's take 2 buckets. And let's go ahead and make a temporary infinite pool over here. Would be a good idea if I eat, since I cannot run anymore. There we go. All right. So for now, what we're going to do is just create a infinite pool here. And I'm going to set this one up here. So here's what we do. We take that, we put our our water mill. It just cracks me up how it's the water mill, but Wila shows it as a solar panel. But anyway, as you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, and 4 sides running, and basically said, okay, you can put water on any of these sides, and I'll go ahead and start generating power. And it says that right now it has 0.48 generated. So I believe that it says 0.48 because it has like a little buffer of the minimum that it has to produce. So don't worry too much about it. But again, if I put the water here, you're going to see that this is creating no power because it doesn't have any flowing water. So what I have to do is I have to put the power there, and now this is creating 4 power. See? Now, if I put another one over here, now this is creating 8 power because it's getting the water from here. And if I put here, water there, and then water here, you're going to see that this little guy is producing 16 power because of the 4 sides being hit with running water. And check it out. I don't have to move this anymore. This is automatically creating or receiving the GP from the water mills. And so really, this little guy here became obsolete any longer. We don't really need it for anything else. Because now our resonator is just drawing power straight from the water mill to be able to make, to take the whole stone and turn it into Sunburn. And now that we have 6, we have enough to make another one. And we will wait to have all of this and build us the grid. So once we build the entire grid, we put the 8 water mills and we have them all running, which we have them. Well, I will continue working on this in between episodes of camera, and by next episode we will have it done. And once this is done, we are gonna go and start hunting for a ghast, which, as I said, is going to be the longest thing that is going to take us. So I will have all the things ready for next episode so we can go ahead and go search for our ghast and hopefully get us ourselves a flying ring. And so today's been very productive. We started with our grid power generation in order to start the basics to use our power ring. We automated our controller. I'm sorry, we automated our reactor so it creates power. We are generating diamonds here, and we have these guys generating a chemical coal, which is going to turn into Eternalis fuel, which is going to help us upgrade these guys here, these energy collectors. What comes next is once we have the energy collector Mark II already done, let me see, where are they? Then we can move on to create some level 3s. But that's going to be a while because I have to make a few of these Mark IIs before we can start working on Mark IIIs. All right. Well, that's it then for today, folks. Thank you so much for joining us, or joining me, rather. Please leave me a like if you like this episode and subscribe if you will. Pass the word along as well. If you have anybody else that watches Minecraft videos, would like to watch this series, please pass it along. And I will go ahead and see you next time. Thank you very much for joining me. And in the meantime, take care and be safe. See ya.